Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bruce, aka Haunted Husband, and welcome back to Becoming. This is a game that I previously did a look at video on, so if you haven't seen that video, I suggest you pause this one and go watch that one real quick. That way you won't be spoiled about what's happening so far, and you'll get caught up on my decision making. And if that doesn't bother you, hey, welcome to the video. It's a wonderful game. I've really been looking forward to get back to it. Where we left off is our main character invited this girl home. He made her a meal and she cleaned the dish, and this is where we left off. I know that doesn't do a very good job of catching you up. Long story short, main character, his girlfriend left him 5 years ago. He's been depressed about it. He drinks. He's kind of a dick. He meets this girl in the streets. He runs away from her. He bumps into her later on. She faints because she's too hungry. He takes her home to make her a meal. He comes in after making her a meal and she's washing her dishes. And now we're confronted with what to do about this situation. Do we want to make a move on her, or do we want to be a gentleman? And this is the part of the game where I have to decide how I want to play this. Do I want to play this how the main character would play it? Do I want to be like super aggressive and kind of a dick? Or do I want to play it how Bruce would play it, and be more of like a gentleman and slow going and so forth? That's where we are. Up until this point, I think we've only made like 1 or 2 decision tree decisions so far. And they haven't been really like this altering. Like, I think this could really change how the game goes. Because making a move on her is like super aggressive, considering that you have her trapped in your apartment and it's storming outside. Or you can be a gentleman and just be like, hey, cool, you know, whatever, man, you know, hang out. So that's where I am right now. I think for this playthrough, I'm going to play it as I think Adam would play it, the main character. He seemed like kind of like a dick. I know he's going through some stuff. But I think I'm going to play it like that. I think I'm going to be a dick. Achievement unlocked. Tempter. Adam decided to let his buried lust come to life and take advantage of the situation. I already regret it. I already regret my decision by that line. Say if you want to crash tonight, you can sleep with me. I have a king-size bed. What's funny about that, folks, is if you didn't see the previous video, Adam hasn't slept in his bedroom for 5 years. Ever since his girlfriend left him, he's been drinking and sleeping on the couch. So he hasn't even been in his bedroom for 5 years. So if for some reason this girl says yes, which I don't believe she would, they'd be sleeping in 5-year-old sheets. Which is kind of disgusting. But we'll see. You never know. Her gaze pierced through his shallow charisma and made it explode into a phallic-shaped shards of regret. Phallic-shaped shards. Now that's a phrase. Hey, look, I regret making that decision, but I had to play it like Adam would play it. He seems horny. Sorry for the viewers, but I can't believe you turned out to be such a piece of crap. Yeah, I'm sorry. Adam didn't have time to ask what she meant, for she was already gone. Forever. Is that the game? Wow, so there are wrong choices. Wow. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that there's wrong choices that end the game. A lot of people would be mad about that. A lot of people would be like, that's crap. You know, I spent all this time, da-da-da-da. But just in life, there's wrong choices. Don't unlock any... So yeah, this is her. When we first met her, if you didn't see the first video, she was a vagrant. We bumped into her in the street. Can I continue where... Okay. So you can continue where you left off from your save. That's not going to change the way I play. Even now, knowing that there's wrong choices and dead ends, I'm still going to play like Adam would play it. Because that's what you have to do. Be a gentleman. He wanted to thank her, but his lips thought of a better way to express his gratitude than by using words. He wanted to thank her, but bit his lip and thought of better ways to express his gratitude than his using his words. That was my bad. Kind of a convoluted sentence, but that's my bad. I misread it. He was just done putting the large quilt on the sofa when he noticed she was standing there, confused. It ain't a 5-star hotel, but that should do for the night. Looking into his eyes, she softly vocalized her incomprehension, "I don't understand." Adam shrugged. "It's raining, and you seem to be a bit scared of thunder. I don't mind if you use the couch, if you need a place to crash for the night." She gasped. "You can use the shower if you want. Also, there's a couple of power drinks in the fridge in case you get thirsty." Look, my dude, if she was low on nutrition, like as her blood sugar was low, you don't want to pump her full of power drinks. I mean, she's going to get from hypoglycemia to hyperglycemia, then she's just going to be unbalanced and just out of whack. Standing up and heading to the hallway without looking at her, "Good night." Is this a crack in the wall? My dude, Adam, you make good money. You need to fix this wall. That chip in the wall, too. By the way, that's a good detailing right there. Like, you'd expect everything to be smooth and harmonious, but the developer took time to, add these little details in the back because, Adam seems to be into African culture and Japanese culture. I originally thought this game took place in New York, but I'm not actually quite sure where it takes place now. Because it mentioned Amsterdam a couple of times. So, still unsure about this location. It could be anywhere. "Thank you," she whispered. Clenching her fist, she raised her head to reveal tears streaming down her face. "Thank you, Adam." "You're welcome." "Thank you, Adam." Clap, 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 clap. "Thank you, Adam." Sorry, it's a wrestling thing. "Wait up, I never told her my name." "How do you know my name? Did you look at it? How did you know my name? Did you look into my wallet? Hey, did you It's me, Ryan." Adam felt as if his whole world had collapsed in an instant, melting his insides and reducing his brain to ashes. Interesting. Who is Ryan? Burning fragments of memories flashed before his eyes. Whoa. That was a flash. This cannot be. Adam didn't notice immediately that the lights went out. The circuit breaker had been blowing fuses once a week now, but he had never really bothered to have an electric. That's a good touch. The cracks in the wall, the faulty wiring. It goes to show someone who has such a seemingly powerful job as a broker and makes a lot of money, that he's fallen into such unkemptness that even though he has the money to fixing it, he just chooses not to. He could see the outlines of Ryan's figure in the dim light. "Don't worry, it's just a fuse. I'm going to replace it." "Are you mad at me?" Sickening. Disbelief. Abnormal. Nausea. Betrayal. Abhorrent. Wrathful. Disgust. Furious. Pain. Sad. I don't know what to... Adam paused in disbelief. "That's a prank, right? Ryan is going to show up telling me that there's a hidden camera, right?" She didn't say a word. Then she whispered, "My name is Sandra." What? I'm confused. But it's a good confusion, not like a what the hell confusion. It's kind of like Interesting confusion. That's a good lighting effect right there. I might use that as my new thumbnail. A thunderous explosion shook the whole area. So did her body. It all happening in slow motion. An uncontrollable terror thundered down on her, forcing her to find shelter in his arms. They both tripped and landed on the wood flooring. Ouch! The smell and texture of her hair covering half of his face triggered his memory. It had the same smell. At that moment, he knew that there was no hiding camera. Reading comprehension, folks, 101. At that moment, he knew that there was no hidden cameras. It was Ryan. Adam stood up, pushing her away from him with a gentle yet firm move. Stop it. Sweet, do I get to work the fuse box? Dang it. Lights went back on and made the darkness fade out in an instant. Sandra had moved back from Adam and was locked in the fetal position, holding her legs firmly so that her inconsolable shivering would not draw any attention of the terror that had took hold of her. I'm out of here. Get your life together, man. Adam went back to his room without even looking at her. It's kind of harsh. Look, I'm not going to crap on anybody here, but I love how he looks like a pouty teenager in his room after being sentenced there with no dessert. It's not fair, Mom. I didn't want to eat my broccoli. It's bullshit. Laying down on his bed in complete disarray, he could not believe that his best friend's little brother had turned into this. What? Laying down on his bed in complete disarray, he could not believe that his best friend's little brother had turned into this. It's a boy? The name Ryan can be ambiguous as far as sex goes, like Ashley, is one of those ambiguous names. I guess when that was a girl, not a boy. I'm confused. It's because it said it's me, Ryan, and then it said my name is Sandra. I'm in between, like, what the hell confused and interesting confused. This might be my new screenshot. I love pouty Adam. And the second thing is this a secondary bedroom that he has? Because this doesn't look like a king-size bed. He could not remember the pretty face he had fallen for, only saw Ryan's mug. Scratch that, he thought. Sandra's. What a stupid first name. He could have kept Ryan since it works both ways. Biting his pillow, he growled in agony as he wanted to storm into the living room and confront him or her. Hugging your pillow tight. Exit. I think that's as much as I can sing without getting copyrighted. What would your brother say? So I thought maybe it was like a mistype when he said brother and it should have been sister, but no. Apparently his best friend's brother is inside of this woman, so this should be very interesting. Look, in my look at video, if you didn't see it, I made hints that maybe Adam was into guys. So, I mean, I laid those seeds in my last video. So it's going to be interesting. See what Adam does with his masculinity and all this, with this boy, man trapped in a woman's body or memory. It's getting good. It's getting really, really good. What about your parents? They already lost a son. And I did lose my best friend. So I'm assuming Ryan's best friend died? Are we going to find out how? What is wrong with you? This is where I'm going to hit it with a quick. Hit it with a quick save. I won't be saving every time I come to a choice. That way, in case I make the wrong choice, we don't have to go back to my original choice and have to, fly through everything. I'm going to keep this as smooth and as chugging along as possible. Plus, I'm curious if there's a wrong decision here. Adam seems like very gung-ho about this, so confront her. Achievement phobic. Adam tried to confront her and head into the living room. If it were not for half of a tiny dirt-covered mane, no one could have guessed someone was under the quilt, grasping for warmth. Slowly she revealed her face, but Adam didn't lay his eyes on her. Why? What were you thinking when you decided to become this? Adam yelled, able to master the tone of his voice. She shook her head, pulled the quilt down, and put her shoes back on. Answer me, Ryan. Can't you see how troubled you are? You're not a girl. She grabbed her jacket, put on her gloves. I didn't know I had to ask for your permission to be. This was the last thing she ever said to Adam. A wintry morning light peered timidly through the sheer curtains, as if Adam's state of mind on this bleak morning was oblivious to the world. My dude is ripped. Look at that. Jacked. He waited an hour before leaving his bedroom, pondering what he should say to her, then remembered. She left the night before, yet he felt as if she was still around. After a quick screening of his surroundings, he noticed nothing appeared to be missing. The Ryan he knew back then was no thief, yet he could not have ruled out the possibility since so many things have changed. The air was still carrying tiny bits of that particular fragrance, the one coming from the large strands of dirty hair that covered his face when she fell on him. He remembered how torn he was, having the urge to get rid of that mop from his face or keep breathing that scent and reminiscing of the years gone by. Adam shook his head while cursing himself. Maybe I shouldn't have confronted him or her. Adam carried on with his life. He would never see Sandra ever again. Maybe he had kept his anger to himself. Yeah, maybe he would have kept his anger to himself. But like I said, I'm playing it like Adam would play it. He seemed like a hothead. He seemed like aggressive, so I'm going to keep doing that. It's nice to find all the wrong endings, because you get all the extra stuff. Anyone can pick the right things. I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. So we shall sleep. But he didn't find the strength to do so. Get your life together, man. Reaching. A wintry morning light peered dimly through the sheer curtains, as if Adam's state of mind on this bleak morning was oblivious to the world. He waited an hour before leaving his bedroom, pondering what he should say to her. Ever since Kim had left, he didn't care about walking around in his underwear, but the very thought of her getting a glimpse of him on his way to the shower was too much. Putting on his clothes, he slowly turned the knob and tiptoed his way to the living room. Gone. After a quick screening of the surroundings, he noticed nothing appeared to be missing. The Ryan he knew back then was no thief, yet he could not have ruled out the possibility since so many things have changed. Even his daily routine had changed. After what had happened the night before, no reps today, he mumbled. Just when he reached out to the door handle, something made him freeze. He felt weak and dizzy, but in a very strange way. No, it was not vertigo, nor bar-related. His last CBC was pristine. A few years ago, Adam had helped a doctor get into shape at the local gym. In return the favor, the latter had taught him a few tricks to identify common ailments that may happen when you work out a lot. CBC. Sedimentary laboratories tests to provide information about the cells and person. Oh, interesting. That feeling made him pause for a moment. He closed his eyes and remembered what he had felt this way. The air was still carrying tiny bits of that particular fragrance, the one coming from the large strands of the dirty hair that covered his face when she fell on him. He remembered how torn he was, having the urge to get rid of that mop from his face or to keep breathing that scent in, reminiscent of years gone by. Adam shook his head while cursing himself. Why did I invite him over? I should have taken him to the emergency room and leave him there. Not once did he question his behavior when he pushed her and told her in a paternalistic tone to get her life together. Paternalistic. That's not a word you hear every day. Add it to the vocabulary. Moving on. Now that she was out of his life, he resumed what was left of his. Getting swole? Maybe I'll make that my news. This is some good background art. Isn't that the same person right there? Some good looking stuff. His back was killing him due to the excessive training the day before. At first he felt a spasm in his lower back, which turned into a sharp pain a few moments later. Adam never used drugs, but when he woke up, he knew there was no other way around it. Now the pain had just become a sore numbness he had managed for a couple of days, but he had to deal with the side effects of the painkillers. Blurred vision, weakness, tiredness was part of the hangover without the alcohol. Adam drifted away, thinking about how busy his week had been. Then he remembered. The morning she left, he had told Oda, "Oda! Did you do her, man?" Classic Oda. Adam already felt the ice-cold blade of regret pushing against his throat. I told you already, he's a dude. Oda gestured at Adam. What about her breasts? Were they huge like this or... Looking around to make sure no one could hear him, he gave Oda a quick description. Small stature, frail legs, less than average breast, round butt. The more he described her, the more Adam realized he was listing all the features of a good-looking woman. He abruptly ended the conversation. But who cares? He's a dude. Oda whispered, one piece of advice, don't call her a he, but excuse me? This guy's creeping me out. Some weird-looking guy had just bumped into him. He bumped into a couple passengers as if he were drunk, causing a small rapport. If he were not on painkillers, Adam probably would have reprimanded him, but not today. He was too tired to teach anyone some manners, let alone fight. All he wanted is to get home. His mind drifted off again, thinking about how he used to hurry and to get home to Kim. Every Friday they would go out together, and the... Hand it over, shithead! Someone had just bumped into his daydreaming, not someone actually, voice he knew too well. There she was, in all her vagrant glory, sitting on that weird-looking guy from before who was getting his ass kicked. It sounded weird, Adam thought. He expected her to use a male voice to threaten the other bum, but her voice was of a woman's. She looked around as she was looking for her next prey. Then they locked eyes. She was holding a leather wallet which looked exactly like his. Before he could reach in his pocket, she giggled like a child. You may be tall and strong, but you ain't got no street smarts. Didn't you notice he had robbed you when he bumped into you? Adam grabbed his wallet from her tiny hands and pushed it down into one of his pockets. He slowly raised his head and looked at her with gratitude. Adam wanted to thank her, but no sound came out of his mouth. as if he had been struck by an early onset of aphasia. I think that one should be highlighted and explained. I don't know what aphasia is. Luckily for him, he was just suffering from the painkiller-induced daze. But it was too late. She waved her hand and headed her way. Now we're even. Laters. Wait up! He finally found the strength to say something and ran up to her, awkwardly explained the side effects of the pills. Thank you for helping him get his wallet back. In an act of kindness, he offered to give her some money. You don't owe me anything. You let me crash. I get your wallet. Like I said, we're even now. Alright, this is what I'm going to call this episode. I've really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it the first time I played it. I'm still really enjoying it. This is a very deep and moving story about issues that are facing us nowadays. Struggling with people who transition sexes, male egos and alpha males and that type of stuff that we have to go through. But if you enjoyed this game, I highly recommend you go pick it up. There's a link in the description where you can go buy it. It's worth it. And if you enjoyed this video, I ask you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button. You'll be notified when my videos go live, usually every day at noon and 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And as always, I ask you to catch me outside. I ask you to catch me on Twitch at Haunted Husband. You can follow me on Twitter at Haunted_Husband. And I cannot say enough good things about this game. Go buy it. Links in the description. Please do. Someone who makes these type of games, obviously these type of the games have a deep meaning to them. So by buying it, you're supporting their cause and supporting their dreams. But as always, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll haunt you later.